Welcome to Cosmic Roadmap. I'm your host, Melissa Lamport, Reiki Astro Geo Guide and best-selling author. Have you ever wondered where in the world you should be? This podcast is about bridging cultures and helping the endless wanderer find their purpose and place in the world. Hear stories from digital nomads, avid travelers, and aspiring globetrotters, and learn how they discovered where they were destined to be and build their legacy. If you're curious about astrogeography and where you're meant to be on the planet, go to cosmicroadmap.com to download your free passport to purpose. My special guest today is Alia Sobel. She is the founder of Two-Word Story Mantra and Rebel Soul Lifestyle. She is many things because her own traumas have shown her that our soul thrives by continually learning, evolving, and growing from what life sends us. She is a holy fire Usui Reiki master healer and teacher, clairvoyant, and soul life coach. Her mission is to empower the collective to honor their rebel soul. Rebel stands for radiant, elated, balanced, empowered, and loved. She is a best-selling author of Legacy Speaks and the Rebel Soul Journal. Alia helps those who are ready to rebelliously fall in love with themselves and confidently know what they must do to feel rebel. Together, we ignite the light, keeping that rebel soul spark ablaze within you, manifesting the life you are so worthy of. Thank you so much for being on today. It feels like only a few months have passed, but it's been since May 2021 that we did Legacy Speaks together. And that was our best-selling book that we were in. And you can grab a copy on Amazon, and the proceeds continue to go to an amazing organization, YWCA. So welcome. How has life been since our session back in April of 2021?
Yes, I'm with you on how fast time has moved, but time doesn't even feel real at all, even more so in the last year, I feel like. And in the current present moment, time is like, what is that even? But first, I want to say thank you for having me on. I'm very excited.
Yes.
We came together, the universe planted us, women in this beautiful project called Legacy Speaks. And I've been enlightened and my life has changed so much since that soul project.
Yeah.
And
And we were just talking how we were like, most of us were just babies, or we were just starting out in our businesses, or, wherever we were. And we've made like quantum leaps in our businesses, in our lives. Yeah. So where has life gone? I know that you were just mentioning a restaurant that you're thinking of opening up. There was a retreat that you did in Colombia that we also spoke about the energies that you had there. How have those things manifested in your life?
Yeah, I would say the thing that most strongly has influenced my journey has been my connection to Reiki. And it has opened so many doors and so many opportunities, but becoming level 1 certified, level 2 certified, master level certified, and then the holy fire, I have seen tremendous connection to where my soul journey is supposed to be and go. And I've just really connected so spiritually deep to myself that I never had before, right? And so that's energy work, and that's getting into the insides and the internal understanding of who you are, and then allowing yourself to be who you are without judgment, right? I've been working with Reiki and seeing clients one-to-one for quite a while now, and then working even in deeper containers where I'm helping women get certified to do Reiki themselves and helping them learn their soul journey, and really just being that person alongside my clients, being that mentor and guide because of all that I've learned has, like I said, opened doors. And just, I feel this tremendous amount of flow and trust in the divine and what it's presenting to me. So in 2022, in the beginning of last year, I had a nudge to I started thinking about this food concept, and I'm like, but this is so odd for me because I'm an energy healer. This is my journey. I always say it's called Reiki blessings. All my clients are like so blown away by all that they're able to unfold, unpack, uncover, get clarity on just one session.
Right.
Like when we're in a constricted vessel, closed, or in stress mode, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, if we're in these modes constantly day after day, you're literally creating blocks to what's
Mhm.
supposed to come into you. So yeah, I mean, Reiki's been a blessing for opening, right? Being open to receive, being open to flow and
Right.
trust and surrender. And so this concept of food came through and it got louder and louder throughout all of last year. And I'm like, what is this? With excitement. But then, like, wow. And then I started to accept it. I was like, I can pivot. I'm allowed to. My soul is
Mhm.
really bringing this, it's coming to service because I'm supposed to birth this restaurant concept. And
Yes.
now I'm just with it. And so before then, too, though, as being an energy healer, I host retreats,
Mhm.
spiritual retreat. And I reached out to you when that was happening in the third one, or maybe it was the fourth one I've ever done, was going to be in Cartagena, Colombia.
Yeah.
And I reached out to you and asked how my chart looked for that
Mhm.
location, right? It was such a successful retreat. So it's like my soul, I call them soul moves, right? And so when you
Okay.
get a nudge internally to look into something, it's your soul asking you to move on your journey. And we might say to ourselves, that doesn't make any sense on paper or to an individual who's a very like real hard on, no, this is the way life's supposed to be.
Right.
But
The process and following the structure. Yeah.
structure and what societal norms are telling us to be and putting yourself in a container that is, this is what I'm supposed to do because I was told I had to do that when I was young, or
Right.
so allowing yourself to have those a lot of soul conversations, understanding what your soul's telling you and acting on the soul talk, soul moves, right? And so
Yeah.
when I was presented with the opportunity to host a retreat in Colombia, I was like, wow. I mean, yes, the answer is yes. But of course, there was like curiosity on this astrogeological
Yeah. Right.
in my
The
birth
the
chart,
geo
right? So I
yeah,
was
yeah, the
curious.
astrogeography, yeah. Is it in
Yeah.
line with what you're meant to be doing? But what's interesting now that we're looking at it almost, what, a year and a half after it happened, you have your Mars line going through both of those places, so Philly and also Colombia. So that energy is all about passion, all about drive. So it makes
Mhm.
sense that you're being lit up. And that's exactly right. The work that you're doing, right? Igniting people's light. That's so amazing. And we looked at also your ancestral roots and where what energy you had there. And that's what you're bringing into this new restaurant concept, right?
Nice.
And you had your moon line MC, which is the line that I'm on here in Bali. And it's really about this grounding energy, feeling at home, wanting to create a business that's really gonna like set roots. So yeah, talk a little bit more about what the concept is and what you're looking to incorporate.
Yeah. So I have Palestinian roots,
Mhm.
and my dad really grew up in Palestine, but also split later parts of his years in Jordan, in Amman, Jordan. So this Middle Eastern culture and ancestral roots. But the concept came off of a dish that I grew up with and eat a lot. And a lot of Middle Eastern Mediterranean restaurants do not offer this dish. And it's lentils. It's a lentil based
Yeah.
dish. And lentils are, I crave this because I grew up with it. It's something I love, the flavors of it, and it's very fresh and very healthy. So I'm eating a lot of it last winter because I was just, started exploring the benefits of all that lentils provide. And then I started getting this flow of, I'm supposed to bring these concepts to society and let them taste these flavors and know how good they are for them, for their body. There's a lot of healthy, in quotation, restaurants or takeout spots, right? They pride themselves on being healthy, and they are healthier than, like, of course, a fast food place, but there's still a lot of elements to the food that are really not truly if fresh, cooked right in the space, the levels of sodium, and kind of going down a rabbit hole right now. But really understanding where you're eating and what's in the food.
Yeah. It's also making me think of Ayurveda because you're like, I'm an energy healer. But if you look at it in the Ayurvedic sense, food is seen as, as a source of energy. The chakras that are affected by what you eat the environment that you're in. So there is still this deep connection to energy healing, but from food and like what that can do within our body. Yeah, there's still a deep connection. Yeah.
Oh, hugely deep. Absolutely. The way we take care of our energy on a daily basis, I always say it's my soul care list. I
Mm.
work with my clients and I ask them to, let's create a soul care list for you. All the things that nourish your soul. I mean, my list is so long, but like what happens in a day is you want to be grabbing at maybe at least 5 to 7 things that you're doing for yourself on a daily soul care basis. And of course, nutrition's in there.
Yeah.
Putting my bare feet on the earth if I'm having a funky day. One
Right.
thing, I'm meditating, I'm journaling, I might be doing a yoga flow. There's so many things that nourish our energy, and food's huge, huge, huge. But sometimes we just don't make it of importance for ourselves. And that's where that rebel love comes from. That's the rebel. That's where, and kind of segueing into that, but that the concept of the rebel soul came to me because I was realizing that there's a lot of information out there that we're hearing and seeing, whether it's social media or on the news. And there's a huge swing of people taking better care of themselves, right? But we still have a lot of work to do, right? And
Mhm.
so in my journey of trying to take care of myself, I would hear like, I don't want to journal gratitude for 5 minutes every morning. It doesn't fit for me, right? I
Right.
was feeling like, well, I've heard this idea and I've read this book and that book. And I'm like, wait, I get to decide for myself. I can rebel and not rebel against what other people are doing because they're all great ideas, but you get to decide what works for you. Someone might like yoga, but you don't. And you don't have
Right.
to do it just because it's going to make you feel better or energy or open your chakras or stretch you or whatever. Everyone's journey is so different. Our vessels, our bodies, our souls want different things than the people next to us or out in the world. So this rebel has two sides to it. It's one, deciding what fills you up, right? And doing the things, not putting yourself in a forceful type situation. I got to do my gratitude this morning. I got to
Right.
get down 5 minutes of gratitude or list 10 things, or maybe that's not
Right.
for you. And so you can find something else. But then the rebel also comes in because you have to rebel against yourself. That's like
Mm.
the bigger part of the rebel. When you rebel, and this, we could give food, for example, you want to come home and maybe grab that bag of chips and, right? We're just, our life is moving fast, right? And someone might be making decisions that they know isn't really serving themselves. And stopping when you're seeing you behave in a way that you're like, this really isn't serving my highest good. Rebelling against you and saying, no, I'm going to grab an apple and some almonds while I make
Right.
my dinner rather than the bag of potato chips that's really not giving you the nutrition that your body really needs. Sure, grab the potato chips when you want, right? I mean, we have this balance, but like, there's the rebel. The rebel is stopping and seeing what you're doing and choosing the higher road, choosing the better option for yourself. So, how do you relieve stress? Do you grab a glass of wine? Do you fill a void? Or are you meditating? Are you grabbing your journal because you had a really stressful day? Rebel against the bad behavior to choose the higher self, right? And so, rebel stands for radiant, elated, balanced, empowered, and loved, because on that journey of becoming your own very own rebel,
Yeah.
you are
You
going to
finally
feel
find love within yourself.
that's full circle, man. You feel
Yeah.
radiant. You feel balanced. You feel empowered as and you feel loved by
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like dropping the mic right now. Because I'm like, I get so passionate about it. It's all about finding that rebel for yourself.
Yes. And how do you work with your clients? Like, what type of work do you do specifically?
Yes, thank you for
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
So I always say, like, a lot of my posts on my Instagram, it's where I do a lot, and they're on my Facebook as well. But
Mhm.
I always say, please reach out. You don't have to hold back. DM, text me. I put my phone number almost in every message
Yeah.
because I really feel like I am open for anyone who wants to do better for themselves. I am
Yeah.
here as a mentor and a guide. And I know that's, my purpose. And so I meet with people who want to reach out to me and work with
Mhm.
me, either whether it's a single Reiki one-to-one session, receiving the Reiki energy, opening chakras, finding out where blockages are, and receiving clairvoyant notes from the higher realm specific to that person. It's a very transformational one session. And then the other offerings are being in this, deciding that Reiki certification, it's a higher connection to self than a session. I have girls that have come through and got the certification purely for themselves, not to become a Reiki practitioner, but just to really connect deeper and shed and heal layers of our self and soul, shadows that need to be shed to live their most optimal, best aligned life. And so there's a Rebel Soul Rebirth, and it's an 8-week or 4-week program where we work one-to-one. And then at the end, you get your Reiki certification. So it's been a transformational offering. And for right now, it's Reiki, baby. No, eventually this restaurant concept, I'm birthing that right now. I'm working creatively on it.
I love that you mentioned the rebel soul, because I feel like I started my business almost like in a very rebellious way too, because I had my Reiki certification and I'm like, I don't want to do it the traditional way. I don't want to do hour-long sessions. And that's how I infused it into astrogeography and also the Ayurveda component, because I loved Ayurveda and the energetics of, food and your environment and bringing that together with Reiki and the astrogeo. So I love that you mentioned that. Like, how do you use these tools in your own unique way? So yeah, your clients are very lucky that you get to use all these tools of Reiki and also your clairvoyance. And where do you see yourself moving forward with this new restaurant business? Do you see any other retreats like popping up in the future? Or maybe combining them with this restaurant idea, right? With food.
Oh, yes, of course.
Mhm.
I absolutely love that you incorporated those two together. And 1,000% there's going to be,
Mhm.
I usually try to do one spiritual retreat a year. And so Donna's been tugging at my soul to pull a group of people there. And right now that's at the forefront of where the next location would be. We'll see if that changes. Maybe Colombia again. It's possible. It was
Okay.
a very successful time down there. Bermuda tugs at me as well.
Yeah, you had some major energy there. And you've been there
Yeah.
before, right? So I believe you have Jupiter energy there if I look back. Yeah.
Yeah, Bermuda's going to be a retreat location at some point for sure. But until then, I just love pouring into energy, informing those on how powerful energy work is and how worthy they are of giving themselves that self-care, right? It's a soul care is really what I say often,
Mm.
so I'm excited for what's to come. I have heard being a clairvoyant as we transitioned out of 2022 into 23,
Mm.
I heard we're not done yet because a lot of the energy was like 2022 needed to leave. I mean, even mid-year when it was through the summer, there were 6 planets retrograde at one time. I can't
Mm.
remember the last time. If you look and date, I don't even think it's happened in like 200 years. When you have that cosmic retrograde heavy action, the cosmos are asking us, the universe, however you want to, phrase this,
Right.
God, asking us to land so deeply in our happy purpose in life right now. People are not allowed essentially to stay somewhere that they're not supposed to be. It's just
Right.
like you can almost feel it. It's an energetic pull that's happening. 2022 was challenging, but what I heard is that it's not over yet. 2023 is going to be hard work, not hustle, hard work towards passion.
Yeah.
It's also going to be, you're going to see miracles and destiny pathway revealed to you in 2023, and you're going to work hard to get there. And then in 2024, literally, we might see rainbows everywhere because so many people on the collective are moving and shifting in the
Right.
right direction. But it takes hard work and fearlessness to trust your soul and do what you're supposed to do. So it's hard work.
Yeah. No, and it makes complete sense, right? Where you have to be in alignment for things to start manifesting and working in your favor. So I feel like that's happened just with the shift in 2023 where it was hard. I had to, leave my job to finally start this digital nomad journey. And that was 2022 and 2023. I feel like there's a lot of things opening up, like starting a hostel, maybe, doing more rental properties, like getting into tourism. Yeah, where it didn't make sense with the current business that I have with astrogeography, but there might be some complement there, right, with the tourism and creating retreats that complement my current business. So, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. So just like you, where you're like, this food business doesn't make sense, and I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yes.
diving into the tourism business, but there is
Yes.
some connection. There is. So, all right. So how can people get in touch with you? How can they work with you? I know that you mentioned, all the different ways that they can work with you, but what's coming up for you in the next few months?
So good. I really hope those that this reaches, if you feel called to have, this type of clarity and energy work in your life, I would love to work with you. And simply, you could reach out via Instagram in my DMs, talking with people all the time, every day. And then I always say, text me. I don't know why we live in a society that I love email too. Email, text, call,
Yeah.
DM. I'm always available. So I'll probably just share my phone number with you to put in the comments, or in the description here in the post. And as far as moving forward, I'm so open, whatever wants to reveal itself
Yeah.
to new clients that I get to work with or anything like that. I
Yeah.
want to come to Bali to you.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, to do a retreat possibly. Yeah, and
That would
before
be
we
a
finish up,
retreat.
yeah, like how was your retreat in Colombia? Like how did you feel the energies there? You know, how did that feel?
It felt like we were in a dream.
Mm,
Like, it was that kind of energy. So I recently had a download. It was, are you living in a dream or on a dream? Okay. This decoding, right? That interesting little word, in or on.
yeah.
You can be a dreamer and be like, one day I want to open this business, or one day I want to have the love of my life, or whatever. But like, when you start taking action on these dreams that the soul moves, the soul actions, you're in the dream all of a sudden. And you're like, what's happening? This doesn't even feel real. And so that's the best way I could describe. Cartagena was, we landed, we had to get on a boat to make it to our beautiful, huge property that we had set for the women. There was 12 women that came, and from all different parts of, the US. And we had someone from Puerto Rico fly
Mhm.
in, women who didn't know each other. Some, there was a few that came together, but it was such a beautiful experience, these beautiful souls. And then we were in the middle of the ocean. Like,
Right.
so it was just powerful. And we had our own chef that cooked our food for us morning, noon, and night. And we had special circles, and everyone received Reiki healing while we were down there, yoga right by the pool overlooking the ocean. I mean, the success was there for
Yeah.
everybody.
And for people that are listening, that was on your Mars line, which is all about drive and passion, and also your Mercury line, which was all about communication. So really like tapping into your voice, your message. So
Mhm.
that's really beautiful that all the energy kind of helped manifest this beautiful retreat for you. So,
Thank you so much. I know. I was like,
yeah.
I have to reach out and ask her what she sees.
Yeah. Yeah, for the
Mm.
next retreat. So I always love,
Yeah.
helping people figure that out. So, yeah, so thank you so much for being on. Definitely reach out to Alia on Instagram, text message. We'll have all that information in the show note. So, yeah, so thank you. And I leave you with this quote: lineage goes beyond your ancestors. You are meant to connect to the cosmos so you may finally find your cosmic family. Until next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Cosmic Roadmap. If you would like to book a session with me to explore your own cosmic roadmap and chart your next destination in business, love, and life, then head over to cosmicroadmap.com.